Good morning. Welcome to the conversation on your digital first Pan-African news network, that's TOS Television. And thank God it's Friday. So yes, the week has finally come to a close. I mean, officially, it's the weekend tomorrow. Well, as always, you know, we're reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, and my name is Adesuwa Osuyi.
Thank God it's Friday. Good morning to our viewers. My name is Merciful Ejunimo. I know this is your favorite day of the week. So I think I'm tired of saying it back to you every time. But yes, I think I'm looking Friday and everything.
It's as though you're expecting me to say something about your drip, so you decided to go all the way.
And I'm like, I'm chilling.
All the way.
I'm chilling and I'm chilling.
So what do you call this drip?
I think I just call it chill.
Chill?
Yeah.
So it's chill vibes?
Yeah, it's just chill vibes.
Ah, okay. I like it.
That's it. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
What's your plans for the weekend? Tell me.
Quite a number. It's going to actually be an eventful weekend for me.
Okay.
So I'm just going to take as much rest as I can take tonight because it's going to be a busy weekend.
Rest is important. Viewers,
yes.
Rest is important.
Please let them know.
I cannot overemphasize it that rest is important.
I think a lot of persons are just, addicted to being busy. It's like when you say you're busy, it's like you're being productive. Being busy is different from being productive.
It's different.
You can be productive from an angle of rest. Do you get? You don't have to be.
We've got some sort of a routine.
Yes,
it's like a vicious cycle. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Hustle.
You're trying to get the bag. You're trying to pursue your dreams, and you're forgetting that your body it needs rest.
Yes,
So
exactly.
please try and just avail, even if it's once in a week. Just try and rest and just think of something outside of work, like Adesuwa is planning to do.
Exactly. So talking about, it's like we're giving you motivation back to back. So following up with the motivation is our quote of the day, and after that we'll be looking at our development across Africa.
There are certain moments in the day when I need my me time to just unwind and indulge.
What is this?
The Cadbury goodness is in every pack of Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate, making you feel cheerful and pleasant. Enjoy the Cadbury goodness.
All right, let's get into the stories, starting with Nigeria. So this is the news about the Federal Road Safety Corps, having to prosecute lots of traffic offenders. I think lots of Nigerians are actually on that list. So the Kaduna State Sector Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps reported that it prosecuted 1,008 traffic offenders for committed 1,115 offences in the month of July 2021. This was revealed by the sector commander, Mr. Hafiz Mohammed, on Thursday in Kaduna State. According to Mohammed, those prosecuted were arrested during a special intervention patrol aimed at curtailing traffic law infractions on highways, the attendant fatalities and life-threatening injuries and end road crashes within the state.
Yes, I was just talking about this a week back with one of my friends, and I was like, people are daily
Nigerians are the most
I don't know,
hardened traffic offenders on the planet.
Follow traffic.
Nah.
Like you see someone, they're like, it's basic. I mean, they teach these things in primary schools,
Impatience
right?
is
Red is for stop, yellow is for ready, and green is for go. But
it's
people see the red and they're like, okay,
exactly.
Okay.
But it's surprising. But even people that are supposed to hold the law.
I know what you're saying. Yes,
I don't want to
even
say,
people in leadership positions.
Yes,
just
see them beat traffic. I'm like, okay, so if you can beat traffic, then I, as an ordinary Nigerian, can beat traffic.
I really do hope that we get to a point where everyone, regardless of who you are, if you're on the force, if you're a politician, if you're an executive, everyone follows traffic.
Exactly.
Because we see people, each day we converse with these people and they say, look, people are doing it. So why don't we? So we have, when we talk about patriotism, you can hardly pinpoint people who are patriotic 100%, who follow the law, who are doing what they're supposed to do, who follow protocol. And I'm like, okay. Now it's good that people, FRC is doing its job in getting these people. All right, we'll move straight to Niger in Africa, where 13 children and 4 women were killed in the Niger Republic. On Wednesday, the Niger Republic declared 2 days of national mourning after the mass slaughter of 37 people by suspected jihadists. The government of the Niger Republic stated that flags will be flown across the nation immediately, and this assured the government resolution in fighting against terrorism until ultimate victory is achieved, while urging citizens for complete surveillance among themselves. This is a very sad story.
Yes, exactly.
Having people who do not have anything to do with what people are angry about. You know, we have children, and it's in their numbers. And I'm like, I'm always sad coming to the news every day and seeing one issue or the other, especially across Africa. Trust me.
It's basic. It was what I was telling a colleague yesterday. I was like, it's too sad what's going on in the world. In Africa, you're hearing casualties of, insurgent terrorism and all that. Afghanistan, the Taliban,
yeah.
You're hearing about flash flood, countries are burning. It's just crazy. Earthquake in Haiti.
Natural and human disasters.
It's just totally sad. And I just hope the world, and we're having to battle COVID at the same time. I just want the world totally, completely heals from all of this.
Yeah, get to a level of peace,
exactly.
because people are really passing through
Yes,
things.
exactly.
Women, children, you see the number of people running
terrible.
away from their countries, running away from their land, what they call their fatherland, and you're like, so where are they going to?
Yes,
are they going
having to be
a
refugee
different,
in another,
happen to be in other countries?
Yes.
I'm like, I really do hope the world finds peace eventually.
Exactly, that's what we're looking towards. All right, moving to Libya. So Libya has announced plans to reopen its border crossing and resume flights with neighboring Tunisia that were closed earlier in July amidst rising COVID-19 infections of the Delta variant. Prime Minister Abdulhamid Bebe, an instruction issued to the Interior and Transportation Ministers, stressed the need to take proactive measures against the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
So in as much as we're reopening our borders, because economies are having to recover at this time, and how long can you close your borders for?
Yeah.
For trade and all of that, you need the borders open. But despite that you're looking at economic recovery, you also have to ensure that citizens protect themselves and we're protected, and that, proactive measures are taken to ensure that we do not, or the country, that's Libya at this time, does not have increase or spike or drastic spike in the number of COVID-19 casualties that are recorded in the country.
And follow the measures completely to the latter, that's
exactly.
100%. And now the next story is 47 migrants got missing at sea off Mauritanian coast. Up to 47 people, including 3 minors, are missing and suspected to have died after their boat encountered engine trouble on the passage from Western Sahara to Spain's Canary Islands, according to the United Nations Migration Agency on Tuesday. A boat carrying 54 people left Lyon in Western Sahara around August 3 before the engine failed.
I cannot stop myself from thinking that we would have had more Nigerians on that boat than other African citizens.
Because of that desire to leave the country.
Because I think it has been a thing with lots of Nigerians having to cross the Mediterranean to get to Europe, to get to Spain. And then other countries follow suit. You have to go through Libya and all of that. It's a very, very deadly route. But people still keep, having to go there. And you keep wondering what is it that bad that you would risk dying, on the Mediterranean to actually get to the other side? It just goes to say we need to fix our countries.
Yeah,
Africa,
I really know. I could relate
countries.
with the frustration of Nigerians, people who do not have some sort of any kind of privilege at all. People who are trying to, just make life better for themselves. But it is not worth your life.
Exactly.
That's what I always say. It is not worth your peace of mind.
I'm not. Go
if you're not following due process, it is not worth the risk.
Exactly.
I cannot overemphasize this. If you're not following due process, I know you're trying to make ends meet. I know you're looking for greener pastures, but just try and make sure you're doing it the right way. If you've not found the right way, if you've not had access, maybe you've not got money to follow the right process, stay and make and do something. We have examples of people who do not have any privilege. They keep sharing the stories. That's why we're here. That's why you and I are here, to share the stories of people so they can see it is happening. Just try and, I don't know if you're listening, just try and look for something to work with. Stay in the country. If you have the money, of course you can go.
Of course. I'm not against people leaving the country.
But your life is very important.
Do it right. Don't risk your life trying to get to the other side. It's not, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if I can say it's worth it, but it's not worth it. All right. With that, we'll be bringing you COVID-19 updates from across Africa. And as I always say, COVID is real. Do your part to ensure you and the next person is safe. COVID-19 updates from across Africa. And afterwards, we'll be looking at front pages of Nigerian dailies this morning.
is now available. You can now catch up on our TOS TV Network mobile app is now available. You can now catch up on our breaking news, stream our programs live. Watch out for the latest update on sports and politics as they unfold. You can also get notifications for our upcoming programs and events. All these on our TOS TV Network mobile app, available on Apple Store and Google Play Store. TOS TV News from Africa by Africans.
My son has always dreamt of being in the spotlight. As his mother, it is my duty to help him live up to his dream. That's why I give him Born Vita every day, which contains iron, zinc, and vitamin C that supports his immunity and gives him the strength to pursue his dreams. Born Vita, strength to dream.
It's still the conversation on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. Before we go straight to the front pages of the newspaper segment of the show, and that's our platforms right there on the screen. Follow us across all our social media platforms. That is at TOS TV Network. On our website is www.tostvnetwork.com. The front pages of the newspapers this morning will begin with the National Daily Sun. From the very top, EFCC stops ex-Abia governor T.A. Orji from traveling abroad. We have two riders. The first, anti-graft agency quizzes ex-governor's son. That's ex-governor and son. And the second, he was arrested, coming from commission spokesman. The banner headline there is, before that, Wike signs open grazing prohibition, VAT collection laws that can be found on page 28. And the banner headline is, outrage over plan to turban Sultan of Shua, Arab of Edo. The rider is, government kicks, says moves sacrilegious, threats to peace and security, that can be found on page 27 of the Daily Sun. Other headlines can be found on the front page of the Daily Sun.
Okay, moving over to the front page of the Punch newspaper, starting from a very interesting headline that says Buhari approves 368 grazing sites in 25 states. Naira sinks to 520 Naira to $1 as foreign reserves slide further. And the banner headline on the Punch newspaper says PDP peace pact crumbles. Obasanjo secondaries in closed-door meeting. Two riders underneath the headline. The first one says Wike's group kicks as Secondus plans October National Convention shift. Fresh NEC meeting may hold. NWC members disagree over zoning panel. Quite a number of interesting headlines on the Punch newspaper. Grab yourself a copy.
The next is Nigerian Tribune. The banner headline there is Buhari moves to retrieve 368 grazing reserves in 25 states. Two riders. The first sets up committee to confirm status. The second one is to gazette ungazetted reserves, can be found on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. You see a couple of colorful headlines right there. Just grab yourself a copy of the paper.
Okay, over to the Nation newspaper. The very interesting headline there says COVID-19 cases rise by 97% in 3 days. Fawemi's son a victim. President Oke's review of grazing reserves in 25 states. Moving away from that to the banner headline on the Nation newspaper. It's on insecurity, and it says Buhari threatens removal of military chiefs. I won't leave Nigeria in security crisis. Obasanjo says situation bad but redeemable. We are winning terror war, says ministers. Other interesting headlines are on the front page of the Nation newspaper. You have to get a copy to read up on all of them.
And the next on the list is This Day newspaper. The banner headline, NGF, 30% frontier exploration, host communities, 3% deplete federation account. A couple of others. The first says governors will exhaust all options before going to court. The second is pledges to work with PIA implementation committee. And then the next is presidency says concerns to be addressed through amendment. And silver upstream regulator, not NNPC, will handle proceeds from Federation crude. And then says only political Niger Delta complaining about 3% host communities fund. And the last is Act has shortchanged Cross River Ayade cries out. All of this can be found on page 8 of the state newspaper.
All right, the last front page we'll be looking at is the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Shippers Council seeks NAS intervention in collection of fees. That's the first headline on the Vanguard newspaper. The banner headline there is on the aftermath of meeting with security chiefs, and it says, "Shape up, I'm not leaving office a failure," and that's coming from President Muhammadu Buhari. There are a number of interesting headlines, riders underneath that headlines. You have to grab yourself a copy of the Vanguard newspaper to read up on all of those stories.
Yes, grab yourself a copy of all of these newspapers I've read out to you. Stay informed and know what's happening in Nigeria. That's the most you can take on the newspaper headline segment of the show this morning. We'll go on a short break now. When we return, we'll bring you the Friday edition of the Big Story. Stay tuned.
You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. Eat the farm, say it's happy. You want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you, not to pass your power. You want to show yourself, oh.
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Still the conversation on your digital first Pan-African news network, that is TOS Television. Like I always say, you can be a part of our social media community. Follow us across all our social media platforms. That is at TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And of course, you can always live stream the program on our website. That is www.tostvnetwork.com. And if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so you do not miss out on our amazing content. Of course, there's a big story, the crux of the conversation. And this morning, we're talking about entrepreneurship, how to succeed in an unstable economy like Nigeria. And joining us in the studio this morning is Desmond James, that is Desmond Tutu, a serial entrepreneur. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Let's just dive straight into it. So owning a business in Nigeria is largely marred by a number of social issues confronting the country. So what are some of the most serious issues, that social issues, and how can they be navigated?
First of all, starting a business in Nigeria is a challenge itself. That's starting itself is a challenge, because before you start, you have so many vices working against you. The environment, like lack of basic amenities that literally affect our day-to-day livings. This is what affects businesses. But as you said, on how to succeed, the thing is we have to just find that particular niche that works for you and try and probably perfect on it. Yeah, I think with time it helps you. Yeah.
Okay, so we know that entrepreneurship in Nigeria is usually based on necessity, the need, to want to do something. So going by that, what are some of the challenges basically that entrepreneurs themselves have to deal with, especially at a time when Nigeria is trying, to stabilize its economy? Yes.
Exactly. The challenge of the basic, I think the common thing is funding. That is one of the things, funding. When it comes, you find that most of us have really smart individuals in the country. We have individuals that have crazy ideas, but most of these ideas die down because of the funding. That's just it. That's one of the basic problems we have. And if that's, and let's say, okay, like solutions to that, which I don't know if I can go on with.
No, you can go on.
Yeah, like most of the solutions to that is that most of these youths, most of people don't really have access to these fundings that are being made available by the government, which I think that is where most desensitization comes in, because the funding is there actually. it is. There are outfits that are responsible for this, that if you have access to. Now, the challenge again that comes into the problem is the access. Who has this access to these places and all? So I think there's a whole lot of challenges that people are facing. Okay, me as a person, I might get to have that knowledge, but what of the person that stays in Kogi, in some other place? So these are things we put, that most of the things that affect young individuals right now.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about youth empowerment and entrepreneurship. We do know that over time, you hear people say, oh, you have to get a skill. We have to empower people. What really connects youth empowerment and entrepreneurship? What's the connection between those two?
Yeah, because there's definitely a connection, because they work hand in hand. The thing is, you said youth empowerment. When you empower youths, you empower them in the part of entrepreneurship most of the time. Now we're talking, okay, like I'll use myself as a point of contact, because let's say I'm into the empowerment thing when it comes to youths and trying to create a platform for them. When I'm trying to create this platform, we'll create it on the platform of entrepreneurship. That is just it. So you create a lot of opportunities for them to see that you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. This is how you're going to do it. This is how you're going to. Maybe along the line of the show, I'll also explain how you can have access to this. I know. Yeah.
Okay.
So now we've been talking about issues of people trying to leave the country. There's this whole news surrounding that issue. So people, but we've had young people, start up things and stay in the business. So what is that thing that has kept you so far to not, try to, find your daily bread outside? Because like you said, it's not really easy. No. But you have stayed in the business for how long now?
8 years.
8 years. So what is that factor that has kept you, stable and because I would like to say you're successful. I mean, look at the drip. right? So what has kept you staying in the country and doing your business?
Okay. First of all is the desire. I know where I'm going to. Like I have a mental. The thing I was going to say this at my entrepreneurship program very soon. As an entrepreneur, before you start, you have to have a mental picture of where you're going to. You have to see it. And when you see it, it's not going to be all rosy. There are times I actually give up. There are times I don't know if there's times I deleted. There were times you advised me one time.
Like you gave up.
I gave up. I had a serious setback at some point. I lost everything. I gave up. I ended up my social media. I closed my social media. I started when they started all over again.
Why was that?
Like the pressure, the frustration was too much.
Okay.
That is what the average Nigerian youth face every day. That is where the empowerment comes into the picture, where individuals like us that have been through these things and come out. And you say, what has been keeping me then? It was that drive of waking up every morning and trying to see, I need to add one step to what I did yesterday. I might not probably make the profit right now, but the thing is that just keep moving. Just keep moving. Even though you're crawling, just keep moving. As long as you're moving, trust me, there's a destination you're going to.
When I was introducing you, I said Desmond Boy, Elias Desmond Tutu, and on your cap, I can see Tutu of Abuja. How do you come about with that? Like I was going to ask, do you have like a chieftaincy title?
No, actually my name is Nonso James Season 1. Yeah, then along the line, my life has been evolving.
Okay.
It started with Nonso James Season 1. It started with James. James started with Desmond Tutu. Desmond Tutu, the popular bishop in South Africa. Yeah, my former employee, he kept on calling me, Desmond Tutu. Are you Desmond Tutu or Desmond Elliot? I was like, no. Then later on, someone now started calling me Tutu. I kept saying, this is not my name, this is not my name. Later on, it started gaining like wave. I was Desmond, sure, so you know, good all carry this. That's like how you branded it Tutu of Abuja.
Wow, what a story.
Since then, it has opened a car wash. I have like series of businesses. Tutu car wash, Tutu laundromats. I have wares, the flaunt wares by Tutu. I'm also opening Tutu store very soon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, you are proof that young people can do this kind of things in Nigeria.
But that also says a lot about branding and having to brand and rebrand. So you just have to. go with the trend,
Exactly.
evolve and keep evolving.
Yeah.
Would you say that is one way to actually, stay in the scene in Nigeria and not, be frustrated out? Because I know you mentioned you were frustrated out, but you started again. But there are lots of people who wouldn't even just, pick up and start
that's
again.
the thing. As you have to reinvent. As humans, you need to reinvent. You need to reinvent. You need to adapt. You need to adjust. That's the thing. You can't keep wallowing on the fact that this thing is not. It's doing like this. If it's not really going the way you want it, if the economy is finding it this way, find a way around it.
I do know you're putting together an event, some sort of entrepreneurship dinner class for young people.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, especially why you think it is important for now.
Yeah, the entrepreneurship dinner class is a power event whereby we'll have influential business leaders from Africa and all. So this event is targeted at creating a very big platform for entrepreneurs. That's why we mentioned the empowerment part. We're having speakers from the government officials, from the agricultural sector, from IT sector. We're having a panelist. We're getting these individuals, and we're also having African Development Bank. Yeah, also having access to make people have access to loans, like very soft loans. We're also creating a platform whereby you bring in your ideas. We'll have investors on ground that very day and all. So these are the things I think we need right now. And the topic is what next? What next? What actually brought about what next after the pandemic? Because I was affected after the pandemic. I opened the club and it ran down a month after. So what next? I had to start reinventing. So you have to also not just reinvent yourself. Because if you go to my website, tutorabuja.com, that's where you register for the dinner class. You'll see that we'll help entrepreneurs build resilience. That's the thing. If you feel that this is not happening, we'll tell you, okay, this is how it's meant to happen. So this is what this dinner class, it's going to put lots of entrepreneurs that are going to register or going to give access to. This is what they're going to have us. And I'm sure when they leave there, they'll be more guided in whatever they are doing. Yeah, that's just the basic.
Yeah, and I think guidance is actually very important.
Yeah, definitely.
I usually tell people, I don't think I can do business, especially in Nigeria. I feel like not everyone is cut out, to actually, because I hear everybody tell you, I'm sure you've had over time when people tell you, you can't be working for people, the 9 to 5 is whatever, you have to own your own business, you have to do your stuff.
And I've also seen people that are like, they're okay with the 9 to 5.
Yes, I feel like there has to be a balance. I don't think I can be an entrepreneur. I don't think I can do business. I'm cool with, doing all of this. But I know that there are people who are cut out for that entrepreneurship lifestyle, and they just need, that guidance and empowerment. And
but not just in the entrepreneurship scene. That's the dinner class. It also helps you, because as I said earlier, we'll have people from the IT sector, we'll have people from the government. We're also having INEC on ground that day, hopefully. Yeah, to also, because the youth keep complaining about the government, the governance and everything. You need to start playing an active role. We need to let this youth know that it's not just going on social media and saying and posting. You need to actually play a role on ground. So these are the ways, these are the lessons you get to learn.
Okay.
Yeah, not just
all right. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Desmond Tutu. It's been a wonderful one with you this morning. Do you have anything for him?
No, actually.
I was just going to ask, like, the whole drip. He has to give me his.
You have to.
Yeah, because I'm like looking at him like, okay, the shades and everything. That's okay. Thank you again for gracing us with your presence this morning. All right, thank you, viewers, for staying tuned to the conversation this morning. Like I always say, you can be a part of our social media community. Your opinions, contributions are important and they are needed. Follow us across the social media platforms as displayed on your screen. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Do not forget. I thank you again for joining us on this Friday edition of The Conversation. Again, I am Merciful Ajinomo.
And my name is Adesu Alsuyi. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. We'll see you Monday, but before then, do stay safe. COVID-19 is real. Protect yourself and protect the next person around you.